You have been doom scrolling TikTok for hours and hours on end, watching people perform dances or some other cringy trend. Now that you're finally done with this doom scrolling session, you realize that your head feels heavy. You feel tired and unmotivated. The very idea of doing anything productive simply does not seem engaging enough. Or even if you have forced yourself to perhaps sit and work on a task, you realize that you simply are unable to focus on it for very long. Over time, you realize that the only thing that is left for you to do is, well, watch more Instagram reels. This pretty soon becomes a very vicious cycle. You see, the human brain has the ability to rewire itself according to the stimulation that it receives from the outside world. This is called neuroplasticity. Like, for example, a person who plays soccer for 100 days in a row eventually gets good at soccer. A person who solves math problems for 100 days becomes good at solving math problems. Think about how exactly you are rewiring your brain when you doom scroll TikTok and watch videos that are just a couple of seconds long. You are literally teaching your brain to shorten its attention span. You are literally making yourself dumber. Like, I remember just a couple of years ago when I was still consuming short form content, I found it really hard to sit through an hour-long podcast. I remember getting lost in my own little world, getting distracted or following some random train of thought. Even when I used to try to study, I remember I could not sit still for more than 10 minutes. My body started twitching. It started rebelling against me. Of course, if I were to talk about these things to my parents, I'm pretty sure they would think that I have a medical condition and I would be taken to a doctor, then prescribed a pill for ADHD or something. That pill would mask away my symptoms or whatever. However, the underlying issue would still remain unaddressed. The root cause of this problem still exists. So this is the very first problem with watching short form content. It causes you to lose your ability to focus. But wait, there is more. The damage isn't just limited to losing your ability to focus. It also desensitizes you to pleasure. When you're constantly watching these videos that are just highly entertaining and highly stimulating from the get-go, then your brain releases an excessive amount of dopamine. Like, these videos have no build-up, no moral lessons, no thought-provoking questions, none of that. The sole purpose of such content is to get you hooked by providing you with a burst of dopamine. Not just that, by the end of your current video, your finger is already racing to scroll to the next video and get that dopamine hit. Like, the trigger has already been pulled. It's like the drug is constantly there at your fingertips. There's not much of a barrier between you and this drug, so you're much more likely to keep consuming it. Like, think about it. How many times have you set a time limit of 5 minutes and then realized you have been browsing social media for over 40 minutes? These things are literally designed to be as captivating as possible. They are not designed to be consumed in moderation. Your brain wonders what the next reel would offer. Is it going to be something really cool, funny, or exciting? This too is highly stimulating. Very similar to the anticipation that someone with a gambling addiction experiences. Will I win the jackpot or will I not? All this excessive stimulation that is received from short form content desensitizes you to other less stimulating things. Think about it. After scrolling TikTok for an hour, why would you have any motivation to read a book? Or perhaps do anything challenging at all? You are so used to getting instant gratification now. All the stimulation without moving a muscle. Effort now starts looking like a mountain, and humans have the tendency to take the path of least resistance. If you keep doing habits that give you instant gratification, you will realize that over time you have no motivation to pursue other things, especially things which require effort and are not that stimulating. And generally speaking, it is these less stimulating things that are usually required in order for a person to become successful in his life. Like, think about it. If you want to have a good physique, you need to go to the gym, perform a workout that requires time and effort. If you want to have a good career in software engineering, you have to do a couple of hours of deep focused work and not get distracted. If you want to become a successful YouTuber, you have to produce quality content and write good scripts for your videos. Now, all these things require time and effort. They are not the most stimulating things to do. However, these are the sort of things that translate to real-world success. The pleasure that you get from doing hard things that you know will have a positive impact on your life is far more long-lasting and satisfying than the pleasure you get from these quick, highly stimulating activities. These activities give you instant gratification, but they do so at the expense of your future happiness. There you have it, folks. These are the reasons why short form content is so dangerous for your mental health. It's a drug that is constantly present at your fingertips and increasingly hard to avoid in 21st century. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. And if you're interested in content that revolves around self-improvement and productivity, then consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, keep the ball rolling, keep self-improving.